Okay, so I have two very relatable to me coming out stories they're funny to me. I don't know if they're gonna be funny to anyone else, but they're really fucking funny to me. So if they're not funny to you, you don't have a decent sense of humor. And the first one is like 12. I was 12. It was like the summer after 7th grade, maybe 13. And I got my first girlfriend because I learned that, like, I liked girls because I, like, realized that when you like girls, like, for as much as I liked girls, that I didn't just like girls. Like, I liked girls. And I still like girls. So, go 12-year-old me. And so, and it was summer, and I was a very introverted middle schooler. So I was in, like, my scene phase, and it was messy. But, and so I had my first girlfriend. I was obsessed with her because of my first girlfriend. And my mom and her boyfriend had just she had an ex-boyfriend who was in jail. And then she invites this punk-ass convict to come live with us. And I don't get along with people I don't like, and I didn't like him. So I did not get along with him. And I was never taught to hold my tongue because I have a bit of an attitude problem. So, you know what? I'll give her that. I did have a bit of an attitude problem. I still do. Moving on. And this asshole says something to my little brother. And so I stand up in the middle of the dinner and I look at him and I'm like, what do you think you're doing? You've been here for like 3 days. Like, get your ass back in the cell and stop telling my baby brother what to do. Like, ooh, I was so mad. And then my mom, like, freaked out on me because I was, like, disrespecting the authority of the household because he was the father now and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not rolling. That was a rough summer. And so she takes my phone and my laptop. And when I would get in trouble and I did something seriously offensive, like disrespect an authority figure like I did, she would, like, take my stuff for a week. And then after the week, we'd, like, evaluate my behavior and I'd get my stuff back or whatever, which I would because I was a good kid. Aside from my attitude issues, which did not compromise my behavior. So, defy the odds. And it had been like 3 days. And I knew something was up because she walked into my room holding my laptop and my phone. And I was like, fuck. And my first thought was they canceled Glee because I was obsessed with Glee and I knew that she knew I would freak out if I missed the, like, Glee cancellation. Like, if I missed that, I would have cried. And so I thought she was giving back my stuff so I can learn that Glee was over because I was 12 and obsessed with it. And it was, like, my entire life. Like, I had Naira Rivera pillowcases. Like, she would have known I would have lost my shit. So I was like, that's it, Glee's over. And then she comes in and she, like, sets it down, like, almost like she's comforting me. And so my next thought is, fuck, I'm terminal. Fuck, someone's terminal. Fuck, someone's dying. No one ended up to be dying, but I was terrified someone was. And so I was sitting there waiting for her to tell me, like, a relative had died or something equally as depressing. And she puts my laptop down and she puts my phone down on top of it, face up. And she slides it over to me. And my mother is a very religious Christian woman. And she looks at me and she goes, Cleesa, from what I can tell, you may or may not like girls from the messages on your phone. And she'd never gone through my phone before because we had a decent understanding of privacy before her convict ex came back into our lives. But he's gone now, so but anyway, we had a decent understanding of privacy beforehand, but apparently he didn't have one because he told her to go through my phone like a dick. And so we went on, like, and she sat there and she said that to me. And the first thing in my head was like, she went through my fucking phone. So my cocky ass was like, yeah, I do, so what? And she like choked on her spit and she was like, okay. And then left me in my room with my things. And then like, because she found out because like my girlfriend at the time was like texting me like, where are you? You fell off the grid. You've been gone for like, you haven't talked to me in 3 days. Like, what's up? Because we would constantly talk. You're like 12. That's what you do when you're 12 and you get a girlfriend. And so yeah. So she found out by going through my phone and confronting me about it. And I basically shut her down for her personal conversation she was trying to have with me. And then she ignored me for a couple days until she was okay with it. And then now she's fine with it. And she's chill with me like a girl. So, more of the story is, let your parents adjust. Because it might happen. It did for me. Okay, my second story is, I had like this father figure. His name's Phil, so I'm gonna call him Phil, but he was like my father figure. And he was like cooler than my mom, and he took me places and bought me things, and like, we were always having fun. And I could call him and get whatever I wanted. He spoiled me, basically. So I loved him. And we were sitting in the car. We were sitting in his truck, and we were outside of a church waiting to pick up his goddaughter. And he was saying some dumbass shit about, like, cuss words tasting like something. And I was like 14. I was slightly more vulgar. And I was like, cuss words don't have a taste. And he was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, they do. And I was like, no, they don't. And, like, I forgot what he said. And then he was like, what's your favorite cuss word? And I was like, cunt. Because that's my favorite cuss word. That's still my favorite cuss word. And he was like, don't you like how cunt tastes on your tongue? And I looked at this man in the eye outside of a church, the man who watched me grow up, and I told him, serious as fucking anything, that I did indeed enjoy how cunt tasted. And I made a pussy eating joke that was mostly serious outside of the house of the Lord, and I'm not sure Jesus has forgiven me for it yet, but working on that. I wear my cross every day, so JC, you're watching this. And yeah, I came out to him by telling him that I like to eat pussy when I was like 14, and that is my favorite coming out story, because he was basically my dad, and he looked at me for a second, and he was like, and then this ice cream truck across the street started blaring, and then I made him go buy me an ice cream. So those are my stories, my super relatable coming out stories, and they're probably not as funny to you as they are to me, but they were fucking hilarious to me, and they still are. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. Don't know why I thanked you.